Hello, this is BGFH. Welcome back to Illegally Sighted. And this time we are continuing our tour of the pretty much completed, virtually completed Crater Lake Tower City thing we got going on. I've gone through everything in this city except for the building we are in front of right now and the one over in that corner. So rather than Babylon, let's get right into it. We're going to start. This building is kind of complicated too. Like I said, the building's on the left side when you're coming down that main staircase. These are the last three buildings that I created, the most recent ones in this city. And you just get to see, starting from the center building and the buildings on the right, they got a little bit more, and I went back and fixed them a little bit. But just in the overall designs to begin with, starting with them, I think these buildings here have just improved immensely in quality and complexity. So this, like I said, is our kind of social services building. We've got it's supposed to represent kind of a clock tower here. Or not a clock tower, but a clock. But it's just a bunch of lights and kind of a cool little pattern there. And our front entrance here, we got a few different entrances that we're going to go through. But to start with, I'm going to show you one of my favorite buildings that I was surprised at how cool it turned out, is the courtroom. So here we go. And I did show this off. Not much has changed since I showed this to you guys last time if you watched any of my earlier Minecraft videos. But this is our courthouse here, courtroom. We've got staircases down either side, down the left and the right side. We have our huge viewing area for our audience, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know if there's like if there's a term instead of audience or whatever for a courtroom, spectators, or yeah, there probably is, and I'm just stupid and can't think of the name, so I'll shut up about that now. But then in front of that, you have your bench here for your defendant and your prosecution, or whatever side you want to assign to which, your prosecution, your defendant. You have your jury section here, which is 12 jurors. I went with that kind of theme there, the U.S. sort of system. We've got your judges, big imposing judges bench here. I am the law. So cool looking bench there. He's up really high. And then on the other side is where people will take the stand. So you come up here, you're sworn in. Do you swear to tell the truth? Yada yada. You go up here and you sit. You pull back the chair. You sit down in your thing and address the judge and the people in the stands. The one thing that I wasn't able to do that I wish I could have, but it just wouldn't have worked in Minecraft, is I wish I could have had it set so that these were diagonal, like the jury and the stand here. I wish they were. I wish they could be diagonal so they kind of face in, so you could see them from the crowd and the judge could see them better. And right now, it's impossible for the jury to really see see the person on the stand, and that's a huge part of it. You want to watch: are they fidgeting? Do you think they're lying? Are they really into it, or whatever? So that is definitely like a shortcoming that I really wasn't able to address. And I couldn't do them the other way, like, going sideways like this, because I just didn't have enough room to do it. So, you just kind of have to take that as you will. But that is our main section of the courtroom, and I had these big square areas here above everything, and I'm like, I need to do something with that. I can't leave them blank. I didn't want to put pictures in. And I was just playing around with torches, and I came up with just a couple of these little weird, unique patterns, and I think it works great. I don't, they're not really supposed to represent anything, but I think they look cool. So, some extra kind of decoration. I like the whole style of, we got the red carpeting and the glowstone borders around everything, but the whole courtroom has this wood and like nether brick, dark nether brick kind of a look to it, and it all matches, and it's all like aesthetically just looks really good together. So under the stands, under where the spectators sit, you have your kind of waiting area for your prosecution, your defendants, and all your that kind of stuff. So you have your holding cells on each side. So you've got 2 holding cells here. You can open them from the outside, but you cannot on the inside. You've just got a little bench or a little bed there to sit in. And that's it. So you've got 2 of those, and then you have 2 of these rooms. They're little chambers, so as you're waiting, they can either be in their holding chamber, or they can, like when their lawyer comes in, before they take the stand, they can go through what they need to say, whatever. They can meet with the client. Yeah, and so we've got your little table, your little chairs here, and just having these little accents, like I said, with the stairs cut out in the wall, just to make, they're not just flat walls. All that little thing adds character and just makes the room a tiny little, 4x5 or 4x6 room square room, just look, a lot more detailed. So we've got another room here. So there's 2 holding cells, 2 little meeting rooms for like their lawyers and stuff. And on the other side, because you're right in the middle here, on the other side, under the stairs and under the where the people sit, same thing. 2 holding cells, 2 of the meeting rooms for like the lawyer and the client. So you've got that covered. And we're not done with the courtroom yet, so we're going to go behind the judge's chamber, or behind the judge's stand, and we are going to, this is where the jury and whoever need to meet, or anyone who needs to meet with the judge, that he calls a private meeting or whatever, they meet in here, this pretty cool looking table. I really like the look of this. It's well lit, and it kind of looks kind of dark and imposing in a way, but it still looks really kind of neat. And behind the meeting room, you have the actual judge's chamber. You've got a couple little things here. You got a little stand sort of thing. You got a little basin here. And you just got a huge fancy table with a couple of couches on either side. You've got some bookshelves on either side of a huge fireplace. So this was a fun room to decorate, because you kind of wanted to have it be pretty imposing but pretty opulent, and kind of just just a whole bunch of different things. So it just trying different things, and I thought it ended up really good. Wide open, not a whole lot of clutter to it, just a big room for the judge. So we're going to come back out to the main court area here. And now we are going to go through to the area for the jury. So here's the main meeting room for the jury. If somebody wants to take a stand and talk and, state their case or whatever, they can come up to the podium here, or if the judge needs to address the jury in their room or whatever, you've got the stand there, and then you have the big long table for the jury. And again, just using these half slabs and just, the different things for the middle of the table. It just looks really, really nice. Just a thick, big table. You got a little table back here in the back for people can put stuff, or maybe you can put like refreshments back there. Water, coffee, refreshments, whatever. Now, if we head up the stairs, this is the same level in the courtroom. One of the things that I did in this building, this is the main building that I did it, but there's a lot of things here where there are essentially 3 major floors to this building. No, there's actually 4. But a lot of them are actually like split, kind of like in the shopping center, but to a much greater degree. You have the big, huge, tall, open court area, and then this main room is still the same dimensions, but it's actually split into two subfloors. So you got the lower part down there with the judge's chamber and the meeting room and one other room I haven't walked you through yet. And you have the upper area here. So this is the area for if a trial goes on and the jury has to be in quarantine, they can't leave, they can't interact with the outside world. There's 2 beds to a bedroom here. They've got and they got chairs and desks there to work with. And then you have your meeting, your commons area, like for at night, to kind of kick back and eat or just chill out or whatever, work, whatever you need to do. You've got your own little kitchen area back here. Kitchen area here, prep work. You can cook some hot food, wash your dishes. You got all your supplies here, your prep area, all that. So like I said, you have everything accounted for there. All these rooms are basically exactly the same. They've just got their desks. Each one's got a little nightstand dresser thing and their bed and desk. And then they go out, and like I said, there's your main area. You've got a men and a women's bathroom here, so because you're going to have men and women jurors. So yeah, you can shower, you can use the bathroom. You got all that. Everything is got everything you need while you are in, or not quarantine. Did I say quarantine before? Good God, sequestering. Use the right terminology, moron. All right, so I went down the other staircase now, so we're on the opposite side we're on the other side of the judge's chamber and meeting room. So this is the law library. So the jury can come down here and do some research that they need to for their case, or maybe you've got some law students that can come in from time to time. They can look up and do their law research here. So this is just several shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big shelves of your law library. And that is our courtroom area. Like I said, this building is epic. This building is huge. It took me forever to complete this building. I worked on it a long time, and that's okay because it turned out awesome. So now we're going to head back. And notice again, like I said, I've got hedges everywhere. We'll worry about this in a minute. We're going to walk down the street here. Before I take you up to the police station, I'm going to go to this back area here. And this whole big underground, or not underground, but this whole area here is for like police vehicles, fire trucks. You got the bigger stalls here for like fire trucks kind of thing. And then you have we'll get to that in a minute. So here is our fire department, just a small little area. You go up these stairs here. And, they're used to looking at red and yellow already burning fires and stuff. So we want to have something different. We didn't want to just go with the, fire thing. So we got some green in there. Show them some different colors. But we have basically what this is our fire station. We've got our little reception area if people need to come in up over on this side. There's 2 staircases there's a staircase on either side. And then you have desks in the back with some bookshelves, and they can kind of just come back and do their office work when they're at the office. And then you have a kind of eating area or just a general meeting room table area here for when you want to do meetings or if you want to, like I said, eat. Because this is also sort of a living quarters. You got kind of a couch table area here too. That's what this little section over here is. And why is there no glass there? Oh, there is now. Okay, so we have those, and on either side, so over here we have a little bit of we have a little office here for one of the head fire station workers, and on over here we have a little dorm, our little bedroom for the however many, there's probably more than would be on staff, but you never know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds here with little nightstands and things. So if you're on call, you need to be in the office. If there's a fire somewhere in the city or outside of the city nearby, you need to get cracking and be on call, be at the station, be able to get out there as soon as possible. So it is a fire station. I will go to that in just a sec. Across on the other side, you've got another big office. This is where your head of the fire department is. Just a desk and chairs, bunch of shelves, and another smaller office. That is the fire department. Nothing too fancy, but it gets the job done. I did work with, using different patterns and stuff for the ceilings. I kind of worked on not just using one overall pattern for the whole area, for the whole floor, but just like, okay, well, this room is sectioned off, so let's do its own little lighting pattern here. We got a big table here, so I started working a lot more, playing around with the actual, just overall making a room look not so drab and flat. So this is a fire station. Of course, we have to have a pole. We drop down there, and this is where they suit up, they get ready, and they go out and take care of any fire. So we come out here, and that's where they got this little office here. Or not office, but that's where you get the little... They come down, they can get in their trucks and go. So just like that, across the parking lot, we got the blue signs here. Here is our police station. So here is where our motor pool office is going to be. You got a little desk there. This is where they suit up and they grab any supplies they need before they hit the road. They get out on the job. And so yeah, this is kind of the motor pool kind of area. Now I will walk you up through the police station and the prison. Here's where things kind of get cool. So, welcome to the Crater Lake Police Station. Here we've got our front desk, and you remember I didn't mention it before, but above the entrance to the courtroom you saw this shield emblem. And I wanted to have a shield sort of thing, like a shield emblem somewhere to represent the police thing, because I just thought it would be cool. And after a little tinkering after a while, Jawbreaker and I did come up with something that we liked, that I really liked, because I wanted to use kind of the blue and gold kind of deal, blue and yellow theme there. I get a kick out of it. They added these little different heads that you can put in the game, and so Jawbreaker put a bunch of little Steve heads here. To make it look like people were working behind the desk. But yeah, we've got our shield there. We've got some cool accented windows and stuff. A little bit of accented lighting there to frame. You've got the courthouse roof, the front part over there, right there. So, it's kind of just going around that. So you have your front desk, your reception, and everything. And this is the floor where your public is going to have access. So you've got a kind of waiting area, and I'm going to fly up here a little bit because you kind of get the idea of how there is a pattern to it, but it's sort of irregular. Just the way the seating is. You got the little table things, you got the little squarish seating areas, and a couple little bookshelves with a little light thing in the middle. So you have all of that there. Jawbreaker actually helped me come up with this little design here. And this is another room or another floor where it's 2 floors in one. So we've got the base floor, And if I walk on the sides, these are just a bunch of meeting rooms. So cops can meet together, public can come, the public can come in and report something, and they can meet with an officer, that kind of thing. And there's very simple rooms. They're not offices, they're just simple meeting rooms. And again, like I said, I really wanted to start making things look a little better. So what I started trying to tinker with here, they made it so you could do upside down staircases. So I didn't want to just have a flat wall, so I put the staircases upside down and made this little, almost like a window ledge. So like the wall is there, and then you'll see it in a couple of other rooms where there's more of a chance they're longer. But it makes it so it doesn't look flat, and I think it adds a lot of depth and nice welcome detail to the room. Same thing on the other side. We've got we got two staircases there, so on either side we got a staircase coming up to the police station, and just a lot more meeting rooms. In the back, we've got an office here, big office with a big old painting in the back, huge, kind of a L desk here, and some couches. And there's a couple of private meeting rooms in the back. They're not just glassed off. There's a lot of glass in the police station, so like a lot of these meeting rooms, they're just glassed in. There's a lot of windows, people can kind of keep an eye on what's going on. There's no shenanigans. People aren't getting roughed up or getting into fights or whatever. And for decoration. But in the back there are these private rooms that you can shut the doors. So if, you do need to meet with somebody in a little bit more private setting, you can. So there's that. And again, just playing a lot with different patterns, different light designs for the ceilings. And I must say that I love how I got this light, or this ceiling to look on this floor. It looks so good. Just having some of the stairs and the half slabs, or I think they're mainly stairs, but it just looks so cool. It's flat, but it definitely has a lot more 3-dimension to it. Again, if I go up here, it's got its own pattern. I didn't just stick to one pattern for the whole area. The big open lobby part has sitting area has the ceiling pattern there. The sides have its own little pattern. Right above the reception's got its own little shape, just like the desk below it. Just adds a lot of character to it. Really like it. Before I go up to the second tier of this floor, so we got the bathrooms back here. So there's a couple back there. I forgot to go through those. But, you've seen bathrooms before. My kind of art style for those, so same kind of deal. Let's go up. Let's go up to the second part of there's two real floors to the police station, but there's actually two. This is like I said, there's subfloors in the first area. So these are more meeting rooms, and I should mention before I go around to the back, I was gonna just have the railings out, the walkways up all the way around on the inside of the U here. But again, Jawbreaker was kind of thinking, he's like, well, try it maybe with the offices out and then the hallways around the outside, because then you have the rooms overlooking and it's just a different look. It doesn't look quite so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for there, but it would look different, and I think it would make things look a little cooler. And I must say, I really do like it. So I've had a lot of feedback off and on with, like I said, Jawbreaker and I work on the server a lot. So again, just glassed in meeting rooms. There's really nothing really to say about them. There's probably a lot more meeting rooms than you would ever need. But, you know what? They're there, and it looks cool, and it's there. So, again, trying a whole bunch of different lighting schemes. You've got the blue and the yellow carpeting on the floor. Again, just having that carpet and being able to put glowstone down for, to keep the floor lit is just helping wonders. But on the ceiling as well, I worked with using like the half slab in the middle and then putting glowstone, and then another, I think it's, okay, yeah, so and then I put the blocks underneath it, so it's kind of like semi-hidden lighting, but it's more stylized. So again, just playing with a whole bunch of different structural and lighting things like that. So now we have the interesting area of the police station. This is where kind of the whole case files and the library, its own little library sort of deal. You got your case files, and people can come back here and work on their cases and stuff like that. You got your little reception area here, this weird little kind of book thing we got floating around here. You got your own little kind of recessed little rooms here, just like with little benches and stuff you can work in. They're more private. Bookshelves everywhere. But a neat design. A lot of those, so it's just on either side of the walkway to the back. You have all that. And on either end of the room, you have some meeting tables. So like I said, if you got a few cops or something, you're working on a case or something, you can get together and meet and talk about it and do what you got to do. Whole bunch more bookshelves and stuff to kind of represent, like I said, for the cases and stuff like that. If I go, let's see, go through this little maze back here. Now I'm on the other side of that little reception area, so this is where the guy would stand and help people out, point them where to go, and help them make sense of this mess. Like so there's a whole bunch of books and materials back here. So again, on either side, we've got the two meeting tables here and this little magical book tome thing. Couple more of those recessed areas if you just want to sit back and kind of study something and work on something on your own or a little more privately, you've got that. And this area was kind of neat because we did more with floor lighting. I could have done the carpeting and that, but the way it worked out before, it just was a neat look, and I kind of left it alone because I thought it looked cool. We have the dark blue, the light blue, and then the glowstone kind of making the path. It's just a different look, so I thought, yeah, let's keep it. Another cool little ceiling indentation there, a little bit of layering there too. So that is the first floor of the police station. All of that is the first floor. Now we're going to go up to the second floor. And this is where the public is not really going to go in here much. This is really for the police themselves. So there is another reception. We've got another shield here, shield emblem here, another little shield even on the floor, the carpeting. But the shield emblem behind the desk. There are a little bit of waiting. Is a little bit of a waiting area. This is where the police officers are going to be. So look at this is a longer, those stairs that I told you about to make the windowsills. You can a lot better example of that here. But these are just going to be, again, different designs, but largely similar. These are the offices around the perimeter of this floor is for the actual higher up officers. Largely the same. Now in the middle of this floor, this is not a multi-tiered floor like the one below. This is just a standard one floor is one floor. But around the outside, you've got the more important or the higher up officers and stuff. They get their own larger offices, largely the same. Again, a little bit different decoration. In the middle, you've got, this is where your beat cops live. So this is where when they're not out on the road, they come back, they need to file their reports, they need to do whatever it is they need to do, their office work. Yeah, okay. It's just basically open cubes. You see a lot of cop movies, you go to a police station, you have these just kind of open, this huge open area a lot of times with the desks, things like that. You got that covered right there. So there's like kind of your beat cops working, that's where they work. In this back area here on the left, we have our crime lab. So we've got some computery looking things over here on the side. I'm just walking around the room. We've got a desk here to write some stuff down, work on whatever. In the middle, we have, this is where we do kind of our testing and research. And like I said, you just kind of use your imagination. You got your little beakers here. You got your little computery thing or whatever it is. You got this deal there, but you just kind of picture it as some sort of like a crime lab with a bunch of tools and stuff. Got another desk on the other side for like a couple people to work in here, and then you have your evidence lockers in the back. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 evidence lockers. If I open one of them up, they're just a bunch. There's like 3 or 4 chests stacked high with a ladder on one side so you can get at them. But yeah, they're just basically, they're locked up, and those are evidence lockers. So they need to refer something from something to, or they need to refer to something for a specific case. They can do that here, pull them out of the evidence locker, do whatever they need to do some DNA testing, do some other whatever it is they need to do, and there you go for the crime lab. Just a little bench area here to kick back a little bit in between the back areas here. This floor does have its own little men and women bathrooms back here. Nothing special, but that's where they are. And again, like I said, I'll point out each section of the ceiling here. You've got some of that recessed lighting around the main hallways here. The beat cop area's got its own cool little recessed lighting pattern here on the front. It's got its own little lighting pattern up here for the front area. Again, I think it looks really good. I'm really proud of how that turned out. So on the opposite side, again, just different color carpets and a few different decorations, but it's just largely big offices for important cops. And in the other back corner of the room, I was watching a lot of Dexter when I was making this, and I was kind of thinking of that room or whatever. They had a whole bunch of chairs and stuff. They got their whiteboard there, and they got a little computery thing or whatever up front. And then they got their big evidence table or whatever where they're working on their cases and they're talking about stuff. So that all the cops gather. If they're working on a important case, they can go to this room and meet. And yeah, so this is where they get together and do that as a team. There is another smaller actual meeting room over here. We got another little U table here. On the other side, we got our whiteboard. And we just, again, something I didn't want to do a square table. I thought, well, let's do this crazy. Let's just do this little simple open U-shaped area here. And that works. So it's another meeting room. Again, some more recessed lighting, just using that sort of pattern here. So that is the police station, and now we're going to go up to the prison. Now there are 3 entrances to the prison, and like I said, a lot of this, if you've watched earlier videos, I apologize. A lot of this is largely the same because this is a newer project. I haven't done a whole lot of changes since last time, but I want to do this as one whole complete tour of the city, so that's why I'm repeating some of this stuff. It's been a little while since I've actually looked at this. Yeah, okay, I don't want to go that way yet. I want to go to the other door first. So, the 2 entrances here, on either side of the desk, there are staircases going up to the prison, and both of these entrances are different. If you're a member of the public and you need to visit a prisoner, You don't go through the prison. You don't have access, nor should you, or would you really want to be in with the prisoners. So you come up to the police station, you get your granted access, you talk to the receptionist, you have a cop escort you. You come up this left staircase into this room here, and this is the only part of the prison you get. You can see a little bit out of there, but otherwise, all you can do is there's a couple little booths here. You can visit your prisoner and talk with them in one of these little stations here. This is the only, for their safety and security, this is the only part of the prison that the public actually has access to. With that, I'm going to open up this door here and try not... Oh, Jesus. See, if you watch the other prison video, for God's sake. Glitchy. There. You notice I have trouble with some of these doors. They close so fast. It's dumb and it's embarrassing, but there you go. So, if I'm an officer and I need to go up to the prison, I take this entrance, because this entrance goes to the prison proper. Now, only the officers can go in here, so the public can't. And I'm going to keep my head down so you can't really see what's going on, because I want to show you the prison itself from the perspective of a prisoner and the third entrance. So, trying to come up with an idea, I wanted a separate entrance to the prison for the prisoners. They shouldn't walk through public areas necessarily. You shouldn't walk... Oh, you know what? I really should add... Okay, that's another thing I can add. I need to add a sidewalk. Oh well, I'll fix that later. I need to extend this sidewalk back here so that there's a sidewalk going back to this prisoner entrance. I did not do that yet. Okay. So I can add that. But you don't want to have them going through the separate building, the police station or anything like that. So you give them their own separate entrance. Nice, as we're going to the prison, it gets stormy again. Cool. And the hardest part was, how in the heck, because the prison is up so many levels, like 3 or 4 levels itself, how am I going to get the prisoners up there? Because I can't go through the building, so I'm like, well, I've got a little bit of room back here. They're just going to have this epic staircase going up, and I had to try to figure out a way to make it not look too dumb, but still make it work. And I think it worked out okay. So you walk up, if you're a prisoner, you come up this staircase here. And again, they use the little heads in there. Jawbreaker put in the little creeper head. That's pretty funny. A little guard. Here's a little guard post, so make sure that people aren't, there's no escapes. People aren't trying to get in for whatever reason, or just, keep an eye on things. All these doors from the prison are going to be secure. So there's a little ladder in there I can go up. There's nothing up there. There might be a chest or something, but yeah, it's just a little area there for a security station. The prisoner comes up here, and they enter the prison. And this is what they see. So they come in, and you have the warden's office on the left. No, these aren't the warden office. This is the... these are kind of some of the prison guards' offices. They need to work up here. They need to be in the prison, but they need to do some work or whatever. They're rotating or taking a break or whatever. They come up here. They have this room here. But if you're a prisoner, you are funneled... you are herded down this path here on the right. Go into your delousing showers here. Get cleaned up. You go in and you collect your prison uniforms. A guard hands out your prison uniforms here from these chests. And you go into the main prison itself. Now, also up here, we'll visit this when we go up on a second floor here, but this little area up here is for the guards. So when prisoners are coming in, they want to keep an eye on things, especially if they got a busload coming in. They want to keep an eye on things and watch from above, make sure there's not some fights going on or things don't get out of control. So we are the prisoner. We are entering the prison proper, and this is cool. So when you enter the prison, you're walking on this hallway, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, crap, okay. And boom, the big cross, the lava cross. What happened was I had this little room, you know, there's this area for the visitors here, you know, with the doors that we came up originally as the officer. And I'm like, well, there's this big nothing on top of it. There's just this thing up here. So it's kind of, there's a fountain here. And I was thinking the Shawshank Redemption, remember, where that warden was a little bit crazy about, like, you know, you got to be, you know, you got to read the Bible, you got to do, you know, we're trying to teach you to be upstanding people, we're going to rehabilitate you, yada, yada. We all know what happened to him. But, you know, that kind of sort of oppressive sort of deal. So you're walking in this path, and you know, you don't see it when you come in because this whole section blocks it. But as you're walking down this path and going into the prison, you're like, the first thing you see is this big-ass cross. So that turned out to be kind of interesting, actually. So yeah, I just added that. I wanted to have some sort of design or something on top of there just to add something to it, and I think that worked out really well. So here's our big commons area for people. Like, if they have any free time, they can kind of be around this commons area here. And there's a skylight up there, really high. Again, this is one floor in the overall building design as it is, but in reality, this one floor is split into 1, 2, 3 levels. So like I said earlier in the video, this building is so complicated because it's, you know, it's not just 3 or 4 floors, because the courtroom was split, the first level of the police station was a split level, and then this one just turned out to be really a lot taller, and it just, I love this building. This is, I'm not sure which one I like more. It's still pretty close between this and the casino. This one might win overall just because of how big it is and really the complexity of it overall. I mean, it's just really cool. But I really enjoyed the casino and that stuff too, which we'll get to next for the kind of finale wrap up here. But I knew that I wanted to have, like, remember in the police station, this is what I was originally thinking for the police station. You have the offices on the outside, and then you would have these walkways, you know, along each floor. And I think it worked better to have it the other way for the police station, but you have to have the cell block like this for this, because if you're an officer, you can be out here, you have roll call in the morning, you know, you wake up, you're called out, you can count your prisoners, you can look around, you can look up, you can see them all, because the prisoners, the cells are only on these 3, this wall, a little bit, and then this wall, because this stuff back here we'll get to in a bit. Okay, so you come in as a prisoner. There are a couple of cells here that don't have any windows, because there's the showers are on that side and the office is on this side. So those cells, they're just newbie cells or misbehaving people cells. They don't get any windows. These other ones, they have tiny barred windows on the top. I'm not going to go into these cells. I can open one up briefly. You have a bed, you have a little table, and you have a little chamber pot thing in there. And that's what you get for your cell. Because I won't be able to get out of the cell without breaking it. But that's all you get in there. You know, if I open this door, you know, it's just the floor, your bed, and then that's really about it. So We'll walk around the first floor here. There's our entrance. This side we don't have a door because that's the public side. That's where the officers came up. Bunch of cells. And here's a staircase. So there are 4 staircases. There's one in each corner, and even those are secure because you got to keep them secure. Now here we have shower rooms. There's a men and a women's shower. I'm not going to really go in there just because it's basically an open floor and some of those shower things like you saw in the delousing shower or the locker rooms. So that's what the shower room is. Now here behind, well, let's go to the middle part here. This is the other side of the public or of the meeting area. So the officers will bring a prisoner that a public member of the public wants to see. They'll bring them into the into this room here, and then they can meet with their family or friend or whatever it is, and then they can be brought back to their cell. So they can only access this half of the room. So again, you know, that was the fun part in designing this, is trying to think of how, not only how to do it in Minecraft, but thinking of all the logistics of, you want this to be secure, you want it to make sense from like a real world, realistic standpoint. You know, you really want it to all just make sense. And like I said, I think it worked out really well, and I think I thought, you know, I feel like I thought of most of the things that you would really want to think about. These are padded cells. Again, I'm not going to go into them because I can't get out without breaking the door. But all it is there's a glow. There's one of those light beacon things on the top for a light, and it's just a gray padded cell. That's just full carpeting with this door. That's all it is. They're isolation rooms. The padded cells. You're really bad. You get the nut coat and you go in there. So there you go. Back here, this is just an area. You're going to have a couple guards stationed back here because otherwise there's not really a way to observe it, just to make sure. But if there are any prisoners walking around, you know, if they have, you know, out of cell time, you can kind of look out in the city a little bit. But again, you're going to want to have an officer or 2 back here because otherwise you're not going to be able to see that. But with the design of these isolation rooms, it was just the way that I had to do, and I had that extra space back there for the hallway, so I just made the hallway wrapper all the way around them. So we're going to go up these stairs to the next level. Let me double check some. Okay, so I didn't actually do that. I should actually add the bottom upside down stairs to make those more smooth too. That's another little tweak I could do. But again, I'm not going to worry about it right now. So, like I said, it's virtually a final version of the city, but as I'm walking you through this, I'm noticing a couple little things here and there that I could touch up if I really, really wanted to polish every little thing. So now we're on the second floor of the prison, and we have our cells down either side. I'm going to walk you through. So we have staircases here. So we have one there. Like I said, on each corner we've got a staircase. This floor, okay, that is a cell. Here is what I was talking about earlier, where the officers have view of incoming prisoners. You know, they got their rifles trained or whatever on people coming in. Or they just kind of observe and make sure there's no shenanigans going on down there. So you've got your couple of stations there. A couple officers can be up there seeing what's going on. And again, just like the courtroom, you know, like I said, I kind of went back to that design, and I went with the nether brick and the wood. I like that kind of pattern, and it kind of just ties in the whole, you know, top and the bottom of the building. And I just like this color scheme for the prison. And yeah, actually having these, instead of having just the regular wooden fences, I really liked having these cobblestone fences here and these pillars. it worked out really well because it just everything looks pretty consistent. You know, you've got your brick and your wood, and then you've got your cobblestone all the way around as, you know, like a little fence border thing. You've got your overall brick of the building. So there's a lot of materials there that are being used, and it looks pretty good. And the commons area down there, you know, like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit better than just a square. So I tried doing things with some glowstone and, you know, like I said, having the little corner and the midpoint accents, the darker obsidian there, I think it is, there in the middle, whatever it is, it's a little bit darker. And then you've got the skylight on top to match. So like I said, I've just worked on improving a lot of my architecture and just building style overall, just making things not look quite so bland. Now here we have, okay, yeah, so if I were a prisoner, you get jobs and stuff, and you can, they're officers and stuff, but basically you can get a job in the kitchen, or you can get a job washing dishes on the other side, which I'll show you shortly. But when a group of prisoners, let's say they get let out for lunch or for chow, they come down this hallway here, they pick up their tray, and you got some prisoners working in there, working the kitchens. You come in, you follow it to the chow hall here. There is a few tables, 1, 2, 3, 4 tables here. And originally this was all walled off, but I figured if you got a couple officers there, they could still see and keep an eye on the behavior when all these guys are sitting trying to eat lunch and eat their food. And, you know, I'm sure often a lot of things, crazy stuff can happen there, so, you know, it's easily visible from all areas. You get done with your food, you pick it up, take your tray over to here, set it down, and go back to your cell. Meanwhile, you have a couple of other inmates, a couple of other prisoners working in the, I'm just going to hop over the deal here. You have your dishwashing there. You've got your chests to put the dishes away or whatever there. And yeah, you got plenty of space there. And yeah, so like I said, you're done eating. You put your tray up there, and then you're escorted back to your cell. That is the second floor of the prison. Gonna go up one more flight of stairs. Okay. Here we have, again, we're trying to have people rehabilitated. So we have a little prison library. They want to educate themselves. We were going to have a librarian kind of on staff working there. One of the prisoners is going to work in the library. People can get, work on their education here and, go bring a book back to their cell and whatnot. And like I said, try to be rehabilitated. Like you said, you got people working in the kitchens. You got people working washing dishes. And you got people working in the prison laundry right up here next door. Got your area, your chests for your clothes. Here's your sinks for washing, whatever. You got your plenty of your table space there, so you can get people working there. This is just a little area. If you're good, you can sit in here with, prisoners. Inmates can come in here and like play cards or just sit and talk to other people or think about, sit here, contemplate the meaning of life, whatever. And over here you have the warden's office. Here he's where, he's not messing around. He doesn't, he's got, you think this would be a secure door. No, he's like, no, you want to screw with me? Bring it on, They're unsecured, but he's got his fireplace there. Big kind of imposing office. He's got his big old desk back here, L-desk. Couch and a sitting area back here, but yeah. Some bookshelves over in the corner by the door. And like I said, a fireplace, and yeah, that's the big old warden's office. It just meant to be a big corner, imposing kind of office there. I debated whether I wanted to have that in the front, like as you come in the prison there, where those other offices were. Thought about that, but I thought it was actually kind of interesting just having the warden just being right smack in the middle, like in the corner of it, and just being like, no, I'm going to be, the warden that works here is going to be part of the solution here, and, you know, he's getting his, you know, he's, damn it, he's doing his thing. So that is the prison for the most part. We're going to go up one final floor, and we are going to open this door here. And here is the roof, the prison courtyard. I like how this turned out too. So we have, there's the staircase we came out, secured. And these, right across from there, you got another door. I'm just going to cheat and fly, because it's faster. But you have guard towers, so I can come up here. Whee, there we go. If people are out in the yard, you've got your little bleachers over there. On either side over here, down there we go. But you can keep an eye on, like I said, you can keep an eye on this part over there. There's your skylight. There's your courtyard down there. Same exact tower over on the other side. So you have basically a 360 view of everything that's going on. I'll walk you through that in a minute. But the ladder that goes up here, there's like some chests down there. There's one level where there's a couple chests to grab, like for the guards to grab supplies or do whatever he needs to do. We just jump down the tower for a shortcut. And again, I was thinking of like the Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption when they had the bleachers sort of out in the courtyards. So I kind of put something like that in here. Yeah, so you got the court, you know, you got this open area. They can do whatever outside time. And I also thought about like prisoner escape. Granted, you're like 6-7 levels up on this tall building now, so if you were even to try to escape, you're probably just going to escape to your death. Maybe you just want to commit suicide or whatever. But the roof, if I fly up over outside here, you notice that I wanted to add a little bit of like depth and dimension to the building on the outside too. So we've got these different, you know, these roof, these brick patterns in there. But when I go up to the top here, you notice that it sticks out a little bit. You got the little prison bars up here, but the roof comes out, and then when you're in the inside, it's not just a straight up shot. It comes in. So let's say you wanted to climb the wall. You'd have to climb the wall and then somehow jump. You'd have to like go back out and then up. You couldn't just go straight up over the wall. You actually have to go back and somehow get over that lip. So, you know, security being the name of the game, I guess. You know, you really have to you're really going to have to want it, I guess, to try to get out of that. And it's, like I said, it also adds a little bit of depth to the look. So here's your kind of gravelly courtyard, the typical kind of thing. Now, again, your rehabilitation, you're looking at, you know, maybe you got some people, get them landscaping duty. They can, some people, if they want to just enjoy, they get their hour, you know, their free time up, you know, their good behavior time up here. They got some hedges. They got a couple of saplings here. I could maybe make into little trees or something. But, you know, I don't want to make it too fancy because it's a prison after all, but there's a bench here. But the thing is that, you know, get people, like I said, rehabilitate them. Maybe some people want to work outside, so you make some prisoners do landscape duty. You know, keep these hedges trimmed, keep the lawn mowed, do something, you know, whatever. But just kind of work in this little garden path. I mean, it's the closest thing they're really going to get to, you know, nature. Closest thing they're really going to get to freedom is this rooftop garden kind of thing. And guess what? That is, I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to fly way down. Oh, and land on the courtroom building. There we go. That is a complete tour of the courtroom, fire station, police station, and prison building. It's going to be a long video. I know it's going to be super long, but like I said, it's a huge building, really complex. Really proud of this building. It turned out so well. Really like it. Just the whole, like, walls and ceilings, the way that worked, and doing the whole, kind of multiple layers to one single floor, and just a lot more complex architectural design. You notice how it's definitely progressed from the first couple buildings I showed to you guys. So we have one building left, and I will show you that, and I will wrap up this series in the next and final video. So I hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and until next time, I will talk to you guys again later.